All right, it's simple math. One person cheats in the relationship and another person cheats in the relationship. Do they cross each other out? There was no infidelity whatsoever. That's the email.
Hey, Bert Show. I'm a regular listener and love listening to the podcast for some good vibes and laughter. Let's keep it real. I also love the drama, but I don't love being the drama, and that's where I find myself. Hopefully you can offer some advice. So a couple years ago, I made a massive mistake and cheated on my boyfriend when I was really drunk. It was a one-night thing that I immediately regretted and confessed to him. It was a terrible decision, but thankfully we managed to work through it and move past it. Fast forward to this past weekend, my boyfriend cheated on me. He was out with his boys, got completely trashed, and ended up hooking up with a girl after the bars. The next morning, he straight up admitted it to me. He followed his confession with what I thought was a sincere apology, but closed it with, "Since you did the same thing a couple years ago, now we're even."
Oh, wow. That's one way to close an apology.
I was absolutely floored. I thought we had moved past my mistake and that he had forgiven me. But now it feels like he's been holding on to it just to use it against me when it suited him, like some sort of cheat card that I had no clue existed. I'm so hurt and angry. I don't know how to navigate this situation or what to do next. And that's where I'm hoping you can lend me a hand. I could really use some perspective and advice on how to handle this whole mess.
What I really want to say is neither one of you are mature enough to be in this relationship. But I'm not. But that's what I want to say. But I'm not going to. Where are you guys at?
Yeah, this is a wrap. I don't think this relationship can ever recover and be what it once was. I mean, I don't want to say I get the cheating back part, but I'm the kind of person that I would have to leave a relationship if I got cheated on because I know I would do it. And there's just no way that I would be able to stay in it and forgive. But if you do choose to stay in a relationship with somebody after they cheat on you, then it's up to you to do the work to forgive them, not to pay them back.
Yeah, this would be a reason to break up. Like if you're going to use what I think is probably one of the worst things you can do in a relationship to somebody to get back or to get even, like that's enough for me to walk away. And Bert won't say it, but I will. But I don't think you guys are mature enough to be in this relationship.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Yeah. Just taking a card out of your playbook. And so I just feel like this is the end of your relationship. And I know it's tough because you thought that you had moved past it and you probably have grown from this situation. You probably have grown from the cheating situation that you took part in, but he clearly hasn't. So I think you should just take this moment to run because if he's going to do it once, he'll probably do it again.
So am I the only one who thinks that the cheating's not the worst part here? The worst part is since you did the same thing a couple years ago, now we're even.
Yeah, it's equally bad, I think.
I'm
kind
just
of mentality.
Yeah, because she made a mistake. She was wrong. Y'all moved past it. If you're going to be in a relationship, if there's going to be like mutual understanding, mutual love, mutual respect, you can't take somebody's mistake and lord it over their head and then redeem like your get out of jail free card, whatever, because they did something wrong. Like that tit for tat in a relationship does not bode well for any relationship, nor does it lend to a successful relationship. So yeah, you made a mistake and you guys decided to stay together, move past it. And he's going to think like, well, I forgave you. Why can't you forgive me? I'm just going to be like, I could forgive you for the cheating, but I can't forgive you for the fact that this was like you, almost like you were getting back at me in some way.
Yeah, it's not the same. One was, and I'm not condoning her cheating to begin with.
Not at all.
But one was a mistake and one was vindictive. And to me, that's the difference. Like if you're going to do something in the back of your mind being like, well, I can get away with this because like I can just use it against her. But yeah, to me, there was malice involved in one of them.
All right. We all are in agreements, and obviously that's the mature way to look at this, right? But in theory, why is, if you cheat on somebody and you just do it, and you're the first person to do it, you kind of set the stage for now where the relationship is, why is the person who cheated back worse than the person who, because you just did it to pay somebody back. I'm not saying that makes it right. Why is that worse?
Well, I think it's worse because, and it's like minusculely worse, but it is a little worse because, no, she is, let's go ahead and establish she was wrong, she cheated, she did a bad thing, shame on her. But if I were him, if you can't get over that, break up. Don't sit there and hold on to that to use it against her several years later.
Is that a fair ask?
So I don't think this
Yeah,
was
it is.
vindictive. I don't think this was vindictive. I think that he wasn't just waiting to have an affair. I think that he ended up sleeping with somebody, and when he did, he's like, well, you did it a couple of years ago, so I just did it. But I don't think he's been like calculating a vindictive move.
And I'll agree with you on that. I don't think he's being vindictive here, but yeah, it is a fair ask. Either you forgive me or you don't. If you can't forgive me, and you may do something like this down the road and be like, oh, well, she cheated on me, then all's fair in love and infidelity, then no, don't stay with me.
I don't disagree. I just know in reality, when you love somebody, it's just not always that easy. So I'm not the second person who cheats. I think they're both wrong. I just don't think one is worse than the other.
I just think you're also if you are in a relationship where you are lowering your values because the person you're in the relationship with had the lower values a year ago, it makes zero sense to stay in that relationship.
It's time to go.
Right?
Now we're just digging.
Right.
We're just digging lower and lower.
The Bert Show.